Are you struggling with Praxis Elementary Education, Social Studies Subtest 5004, World History and Economics? Then this video is the video for you. My name is Tom, and I am a test prep expert here at study.com and a certified teacher, and I will walk you through some of the problems you may see. In this specific test prep video, I'm going to go over problems including supply input costs, benefits of open trade, Adam Smith's economic ideas, and types of intellectual property. So let's get started in checking some practice questions. In which of the following ways do input costs affect the supply of goods? Is it the supply will increase in proportion to the price, the supply will not be affected, the supply will decrease in proportion to the price, or the supply will be halted due to lack of demand? All right, so the first thing is input cost. What is an input cost? All right, so an input cost would be the cost for the manufacturer for producing the product. So it could be cost of materials, it could be costs for labor. The first thing is as input costs go up, let's say, definitely the supply will be affected. All right, so when the input cost goes up, they're going to produce less of the product that they're producing. I'm going to eliminate that choice. I'm going to eliminate the last choice, the supply will be halted due to lack of demand. Well, demand may be driving up your input costs. So you keep buying a certain material that you need for your product, and you're having a hard time securing that material because of demand. So it's not because of a lack of demand, it's because of a high demand. So I'm going to eliminate that choice. So the question is it the supply will increase in proportion to the price or the supply decrease in proportion to the price? So like we talked about, input costs are affecting the manufacturer, so it's costing them more to produce the product. So that means that the supply will decrease in proportion to the price. They're going to have to sell more of that product to have a profit. So this is the correct answer. Which of the following is one way open trade can benefit a country? Open trade allows for a more free exchange of resources across international borders. Open trade eliminates the need to follow production laws. Open trade allows one country advantages over others. Open trade prevents companies from producing the same goods within a country. All right, so let's eliminate some possibilities here. Open trade allows one country advantages over others. I'm going to eliminate that choice. So the whole idea is open trade is we have a free flow of trade between countries, so we're not taking advantage of another country. I'm going to eliminate the last choice. Open trade prevents companies from producing the same goods within a country. We have multiple car manufacturers in different countries producing the same product. Open trade eliminates the need to follow production laws. Well, production laws have to be followed for each specific country, so open trade is not going to affect that. And then the last choice is the correct choice. Open trade allows for a more free exchange of resources across international borders. J.M. Keynes' response to Adam Smith's economic ideas was, the government hindered economic growth because it created false equity, regardless of what Smith believed. The government should take a larger role in regulating the equity caused by Smith's ideas of monopolies. The government should take a larger role in economics because Smith's ideas led to monopolies and inequity. The government should let the market rise and fall to prevent a greater divide between the rich and the poor. All right, so the biggest difference between J.M. Keynes and Adam Smith's ideas are that J.M. Keynes believed that the government should get involved in economics. And the reason the government should get involved is because there could be a big divide between the rich and the poor. J.M. Keynes believed that Adam Smith's ideas would lead to a rich class and a poor class without government intervention. So we're going to eliminate any choice that does not have the government involved. So I'm going to eliminate the last choice because this would be more in line with Adam Smith's ideas that the government should just let the markets rise and fall. So I'm going to eliminate that. The next thing I'm going to eliminate is the top choice, that government hindered economic growth because it created false equity regardless of what Smith believed. So J.M. Keynes believed the government should be involved with this, so I'm going to eliminate that choice. So it leaves us with two answer choices with the government taking a larger role. But the biggest difference between the two here is that it says in the second choice here, the government should take a larger role in regulating the equity caused by Smith's ideas. And the other choice says the government should take a larger role in economics because Smith's ideas led to monopolies and inequity. So J.M. Keynes believed there would be inequity without government intervention. So this is the correct answer. A company has established a new process to manufacture biodegradable food containers. After it receives a patent for the process becomes which of the following? Real property, tangible property, monopolized property, or intangible property? All right, so they've created a process. A process would be kind of like a plan for how they're going to make the biodegradable food containers. So when we look at the choices on here, real property and tangible property are going to be eliminated. A tangible property is something that you can touch or see, where in this case here, we're just creating a process. So we're down to the choices monopolized property or intangible property. So the correct answer here, it would be an intangible property. It's an idea that they established on how to manufacture, so you can't feel or touch it, but it is still protected with a patent. Those are a few examples of the types of world history and economics questions you'll see. How are you feeling about them? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more on this topic. For more practice, check out our Praxis Elementary Education Social Studies Subtest 5004 playlist. And for even more detailed practice, strategies, and customizable study materials, head over to study.com and check out our Praxis Elementary Education Social Studies Test Prep course. Those who use study.com boast a 92% pass rate. Our courses include full-length exams, hundreds of authentic practice questions, and short targeted video lessons specifically developed based on the latest test updates. With our resources, you'll know exactly what to expect on test day. Like this video and subscribe to this channel to get all the latest practice test updates, and please leave your questions and success stories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy studying.